So you're thinking about making the move to the Courtenay area and doing your research now? Wish that you had a guided tour because you just don't know the area that well? Well, today you are going to get just that and more. I'm going to take you inside of my computer. We're going to go on a guided tour of Google Maps. I'm going to point out the many different areas of Courtenay, as well as some of the rural areas and local attractions that you'll want to know. Now stick around to the end because I'm going to show you something that only locals know. That is a summer fun spot for you and your family. There are no signs posted there. You will not find this at the tourist info spot, but I'm gonna show you now so you can put it on your list of things that you'll wanna do in the Courtenay area. So let's go get after it right now. So if you're new to the channel, click on the subscribe button down below and tap the bell to get instant notifications about the current real estate market and the lifestyle in the Comox Valley and North Vancouver Island area. My name is Justin White with the High Tide Real Estate Group. My team and I, we get phone calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make Vancouver Island their new home. So no matter if you're 9 weeks or 9 months away from making the move, set up a Zoom call with myself or my team members to get your questions answered today. We'd be happy to make the move smooth and easy for you and your family. So starting with where is Courtenay? I'm gonna pull out the map a bit here. Vancouver Island is actually a large island. If we look at the island, to drive from the tip of Victoria all the way to St. Joseph Bay, you'd have about 14 hours of a drive depending on the traffic. And widthwise, to get across the island from Nanaimo to Tofino, you're looking at approximately 2.5 to 3 hours of a drive. Now, to get to Vancouver Island, you've got a couple different options. Number one, you can fly there. Or number two, as most people do, they take BC ferries. And if you're coming from the lower mainland, from there, I'm gonna get my little drawing tool here. Starting from the Vancouver Island, Vancouver area, you'll be wanting to take one of two ways over. You can go from Vancouver over to Nanaimo, or you can go south of Vancouver, which is Tsawwassen, and take that ferry over to Nanaimo. You also have a third way. If you want to visit down to the south area of Vancouver Island, you'll take from Tsawwassen, going through all the Gulf Islands, and you'll land here in Victoria. But for today, we're gonna talk about how do you get there coming up to North Vancouver Island to the Comox Valley area. So what you'll wanna be doing is you're gonna be taking that ferry from Vancouver over and you're gonna land here in Nanaimo in Departure Bay. And from Nanaimo, you've got one highway, so you can't get lost to get to the Comox Valley area. It's gonna be Highway 19. And from Nanaimo coming up, you're about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes here on the highway, and then you will reach Courtenay and the Comox Valley. And let's zoom in a little more on that. And here we are at the Comox Valley. Now the Comox Valley, you can see here this dotted red line. Most cities are in a square or rectangular grid shape. The Comox Valley is actually made of two separate parts. In the valley, there is only two ways that you can get from one side to the other, and they're bridges. One is the 17th Street Bridge, which is located right here. The other one is the 5th Street Bridge, which is downtown. So if you want to go from East Courtenay to West Courtenay, you are going to be going over those bridges. So let's take a look right now at the different parts of Courtenay. As I mentioned, there is East Courtenay, and then there is West Courtenay. We're gonna be talking about this northern part of Courtenay and the southern part of Courtenay in a moment. When we talk about the Comox Valley, it encompasses all the areas of Courtenay, Comox, Cumberland, Black Creek, Merville, Royston, Union Bay, and even Mount Washington. So the population that we have here is just around 70,000 people in that general area. So this is as of 2024. The population is growing. When I moved here 30 years ago, there was about 29,000 people. So as you can see, in that time, it's grown quite quickly. And now that the infrastructure is in with all the major box stores, the international airport, and then we had the new highway that was built 10 years ago. We have a new hospital that was built 3 years ago. We're seeing a real influx of new residents that are coming into the valley, and that is represented in our new home construction, everything from multi-family to large million-dollar estates to also townhomes and row homes, which we're seeing all over the Courtenay area. And breaking down Courtenay, as I mentioned, you've got those two separate areas. So we're gonna zoom in right now and take a look at downtown and the east part of the Comox Valley. And when we talk about downtown, you're gonna notice this took me a few years to really learn about Courtenay. And once you learn it now in this video, you'll never forget. The streets are numbered from 1st Street, 2nd, 3rd, 4th to 5th, and then they go 6, 7, 8, all the way through until you get to, there's 26th, and this is 29. And 29th Street is actually where you're gonna come in from the highway. So this actually leads up to the Highway 19, comes down to the Old Island Highway, which is Highway 19A. So if you're touring Courtenay and you get lost, don't worry about it. All you have to do is look that the numbers go from lowest to highest from north to south. Here's another interesting fun fact. I call this the slough. So this is the ocean here, and the ocean comes all the way up through downtown Courtenay. It's really cool because it's called the Kayak Shack. They rent kayak stand-up paddleboards, so you can actually go all the way from downtown Courtenay on a kayak, all the way out to the ocean, to Goose Spit, and all the way back again. As I say, fun fact here, from the river going up, the streets are all alphabetical, starting at Anderton, and then Beaufort, and then Cliff Avenue, and then Duncan Avenue, then England Avenue, then Fitzgerald, and they go up from there. So you can go alphabet-wise from A at the river all the way out. The streets start to go. As you can see, there's Willamar there. So it's a real interesting fun fact that the original streets, how they designed the town, numeral going from north to south, and alphabetical going from the river out from east to west. So a little fun fact for you, if you get lost, all you got to do is look for the street signs and you'll be able to navigate quite clearly around it. As I mentioned, we have the river. Now the river, if I zoom out, it actually starts up from this is Comox Lake. So when I look here, get my little pointer out, Comox Lake is here. And by the way, we did a video on Cumberland, and Cumberland being over here, and it is part of the Comox Valley. It has access to Comox Lake. So if you haven't seen that video on Cumberland, check it out because I take you to Comox Lake. I talk about all the amenities there, from the boat launch to the gun and hunting club to the campsites that are all there. Comox Lake is one of the largest lakes on North Vancouver Island, and it is fed it is a reservoir for Courtenay. So it gives us all of our water supply. And the water supply actually comes down the Puntledge River all the way through Nymph Falls. As you can see here, there's Puntledge River Hatchery, where there's a fish hatchery where they raise salmon, fry little baby salmon, and then they release them back. And then the river keeps going all the way through along here and down into Courtenay, and then of course spilling out into the ocean. Now, one of our favorite things to do, and you won't see this posted anywhere and there's no signs, it's tubing down the river. So in the summertime, you're gonna see hundreds and hundreds of tubes that go down the river. And how people access that, I'll go into the map here. And by the way, this is just a local secret here, it's called Tubers Trail. So if I start to actually zone in on the map here, you'll see the fish hatchery. There is Powerhouse Road here, and you can go from downtown along 1st Street up Powerhouse Road, and you'll see where the fish hatchery is. There's parking right here. And then what you can do is grab your tube. There's a nice paved path, walk down around the gate, and you'll actually put your tube into the river and float all the way down the river. So to get from Tubers Trail, you'll float all the way down to Lewis Park, which is here. So you'll come here, it'll take you approximately 2 hours. Now that's depending on how the tide is, because if the tide's coming up, it's going to slow down your flow right to here. So my pro tip would be bring 2 vehicles, one that'll launch your tubes out here and another one down here. And you'll want to hide your keys somewhere close by or keep them in a Ziploc bag. And then you'll be able to get your car here, come back up and get the other one. This is one of our favorite things to do. If you went out to our garage right now, we have a stack of inner tubes. Now, if you don't have an inner tube, don't worry. You can rent one right here on 5th Street. It's called Bluetooth Sports, and they rent the tubes. So that way you can rent them, pick them up, use them, and then return them after you're gone. Now, getting back to our tour. So again, we're gonna look at the downtown area, and then we're gonna look at the West Courtenay area and what are the differences for that. Downtown area starts from the river and it goes up 5th Street, and then it's gonna cut down and it's gonna come, this is gonna be your core of your downtown area. 5th Street here is where we have all of the shopping, the mom and pop shops. I do another video where I walk you through the downtown. There's a great ramen noodle place. There's a Chinese tea center. There's High Tide Pub and Brewery. There is Gladstone's. There's so many different unique shops that if you're looking for a gift for someone that's handmade or handcrafted. We even bought some furniture recently from Design Therapy down there for our home because it's so unique. It's not pressboard. It's not something you're going to find in a commercial furniture store. Really, really unique custom things that you'll purchase down here on 5th Street. You've also got the Courtenay Museum, which is down there, and then you'll have City Hall right there along Cliff Avenue. So this is the downtown core of Courtenay. Then we're going to be getting into Courtenay West, and this entails all of Courtenay West, even down to where the Driftwood Mall is. So this is a lot of residential area. There are parks, as you'll see, that are actually mixed throughout it. And we start to then get out to more acreages out off of Lake Trail Road, and you'll have larger properties. But in here, a lot of the residentials that are priced in between 500,000 to about 800,000. So if you're looking for that price point, this will be a key area that you'll want to look. The other area that I want to bring to your attention is going to be right in here. And this is the Old Orchard area. So these are old heritage style homes. Some of them are 100 years or older, and it is a quiet, tucked away area from downtown. This is an area that has recently been changing from mainly seniors to more families and young professionals, professional single couples, dual income couples, because again, it's in proximity of walking distance to all the amenities of downtown, including the old farm market grocery store that's just recently moved down there. And yet it's tucked away and has that real heritage feel. You can walk to the Puntledge River and the Puntledge Park. And so this is the Old Orchard area right in this area. So we've talked about East Courtenay. Let's get into West Courtenay. Now, where does that encompass? If we look at drawing the line here, West Courtenay is all around here. Now, this is also including some of the major shopping. We've got, of course, Costco up here. We've got Home Depot around the corner. We've got the Thrifty's Super Center over here with PetSmart and Dollarama. We also have North College located into here. And beside North College, we have the Aquatic Center. So wave pool, slides that, spiral inside and out, sauna, hot tub, steam room, all located right here at the Courtenay Aquatic Center. The other thing that's located in this proximity right here is the actual North Vancouver Island Hospital. This was built 5 years ago, so it's a new facility, so easy to get to. It has a helicopter landing pad on it. My youngest daughter, Vita is her name, she was born there in this January. So this is a really special place for me. Great facilities, great doctors, all brand new equipment. And you're gonna break it down. I'm gonna do a couple different areas here. This is Ryan Road coming up here. And this will actually take you out to the airport and to CFB Comox, the military Air Force base. So this is a major artery. As things are picking up, we're seeing more and more traffic on there. So don't be surprised in the summertime if the traffic load, if you're waiting for a few light changes, because we also have coming down here, we also have all the the traffic that's coming from BC ferries from Powell River. So double check the BC ferries schedule if you're worried about traffic, and make sure that you're timing it in between when the ferry lands in Comox, because we'll have a lot of traffic coming down. And then also rush hours in the morning between 8 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. That's going to be a rush hour. And then again, it starts at 3:30 and runs till about 6:30. So don't be surprised if you're waiting in traffic. Now, the other element I want to show you, major artery, is this. It's called the Veterans Memorial Parkway. And when I moved here, this was all just forest. But what they realized is they had to cut down on that traffic that's going up Ryan Road Hill here. And what they did is they punched through, they expropriated some land, and they actually punched through the Veterans Highway. So this connects up, and you can either go this way to the base or to the airport, or you can continue down Lerwick Avenue, which then takes you over the border here, and you start to enter into, this is all Comox land. And we have a special video that is all about Comox. We take you on a guided tour of that, as well as we have another video, which is the Comox map tour. So if you're thinking about moving to the Comox Valley, that'll give you some context. And by the way, if you're even considering it, set up a Zoom call. All of our contact details are down below. Get your questions answered now. There's no obligations, no strings attached. We get calls and videos and texts every day from people just like you looking to make the Valley their new home. And we love sharing about the beautiful place that we live. We've zoomed in here so you can get a closer look at West Courtenay. Here is the Old Island Highway 19A coming up. And then we've got, of course, Ryan Road heading out to the basin to Comox. Now, right here on the corner is a very big plaza. This is a major shopping plaza. The anchor store is Superstore here. And then they've got stores like TD Bank, they've got Mary Brown's Chicken, you've got Noodle Box, you've got Ricky's Diner. So this is this is the busiest intersection in all Courtenay. Just beside Superstore. Just recently here in 2024, depending on when you're watching the video, they just put in over 200 units beside Superstore. So these are the very first time that we ever had 5-story buildings in Courtenay, and they did multiple buildings in the complex there. As well, across the street from Ryan Road, this is Back Road. And when we get into this area of Back Road, you've got a high density of apartments, condos, rentals, plus owner occupied in here. We have the RCMP station here as well in this. So this is a very busy cluster of a corner. Now, when we come into this area right along from Lerwick Road down to Ryan Road, this is called Valley View. And these homes in this area were built in the 1990s up to 2000. These have a spectacular view of all of the Beaufort Mountain Range, Comox Glacier, Mount Washington. These are all on a hill going down. So when you start to look at these homes, obviously these ones up at the top here have the best view, but even down the hill, it's a set of stairs. So they're staged in there. So majority of homes here have a spectacular view. And then here is the Lerwick Plaza, just before you get into Crown Isle Golf Community. And this plaza here has major shopping as thrifty store, grocery store. You've got PetSmart, you've got Starbucks, you've got doctor's office, dentist's office, all right inside of this Thrifty's Crown Isle Plaza, and then starting to get into Crown Isle. Come for a tea time, stay for a lifetime. That is the slogan for Crown Isle Resort and Golf Community. When I moved to the Valley 29 years ago, Crown Isle was a more prestige PGA course community style living. The homes here were all in the $1 million plus mark, and it's spectacular. As soon as you drive into the area, you're going to notice the number one, the gold fire hydrants. It gives that bling bling, bougie type of look. And also you've got this spectacular clubhouse for Crown Isle. We go there for meetings quite often. They have a solarium restaurant, which overlooks the 18th green. And then you've got all the view of the mountains with the snow caps. it takes your breath away. So if you're there, even if you're not a golfer, just go into Crown Isle, the resort community, and go for a drive around. The homes have a building scheme in place so that way they have that higher-end luxury feel to them. Spanish tile roofing, beautiful manicured lawns and landscaping. And then the homes are placed and woven throughout an 18-hole PGA golf course. So this is right in this area here of Crown Isle Golf Resort community. Now, the other thing is as the years have gone by, and I mentioned that the area of Courtenay has grown in population, well, so's the demographic. It was catered more to golfers and people that were in the retiree age of their span of their life. Now what they've done is they've gotten smart and they're like, well, we need to cater to all areas of life, because at one point, these young families that are moving to the valley are going to be our clients that will buy these $1 million, $2 million homes when they get to that age point, but we need to also have options for them now. So they've created two different options. They've actually utilized all of this area here that is right behind Costco. And first thing they've done is they put in multifamily dwelling here. It's called the Boulevard. So they have rental condos as well as townhomes. The townhomes are reasonably priced, $750,000. They were built in 2021. Most of them are 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Some of them are 4-bath, and they have great views. And again, it's at this price point that's affordable. The next stage of living would be families that have kids that are looking for, they don't necessarily need to be in the golf resort. And so what they've done is they've created right here, it's called The Rise. And these homes here, we did a separate video with a video tour of Courtenay. Check that out because we went into The Rise and started to look at the homes. The average price in here is $1,099,000. So just over that 1 million mark. The homes are a good size. They're anywhere from 2,500 to 3,300 square feet. And they started designing and building these in 2019. So they're still newer style of homes. Quiet living because it's a dead-end street. Crown Isle has created these 3 separate phases of living. First, starters. Second, family community. And then you get into all of this, which is actually for anybody, but you'll want to maybe have that in a stage of life when you're at that point where you want to live in a $1 million, $2 million home. That is on the course. Beautiful spot to live. And if you're a golfer, what a bonus. Walk outside of your back door and you're right on the course. Now, there are other golf courses in the area. We're in one of the warmest spots in Canada, so you've got great choices from Sunnydale Golf Course, Glacier Greens, the Park. There's 6 to 7 courses that are in our area, and most of them are open all year long. Now that we've taken a look at West Courtenay, we've taken a look at East Courtenay. Let's take a look at the outskirts, the more rural areas. So if you're looking to have an area that's got more acreage, there's 2 different choices that you have. As we zoom out on this map here, they're all within a 15-minute drive of the center of Courtenay. But the area that we're going to look at right now is going to be North Courtenay. So with North Courtenay here, you've got some options here. As we drive north on the 19A, you'll go up what's called Mission Hill. You'll go past that Veterans Memorial Parkway that we talked about. And as we get into this, we get into what's called the CVRD, which is the Comox Valley Regional District. You'll see Dove Creek over here. This is a rural area. Most of the lots out here are zoned ALR, which is Agricultural Land Reserve. So this land is set out aside for agricultural purposes. You'll see cattle farms out there. You'll see people who love their horses, horse farms. So you've got a really mix of diverse agricultural needs that are happening in this Dove Creek area. The other area that you have, and I'm just going to circle right around, this here is called the Merville area. Now, Merville is an unincorporated area, meaning it doesn't have any of the commercial or corporate shopping that's there. We have a small store that's out here called the Merville store, which has a gas station. They sell liquor. If you need to get bread and milk, you can get that out there. But for your major shopping, you're going to be coming down back into Courtenay for your grocery stores or your Costco or your Home Depot. We do have out here, as you continue, Black Creek. So Merville, then Black Creek. Black Creek has the Black Creek Farm and Feed. So if you want to be going there to get your lumber, or if you're raising, chickens or horses, you can get all your feed supplies all out at Black Creek. There's also the Black Creek Diner. So if you're looking for a great meal that's unique, go out there. They have an amazing schnitzel. That's the Black Creek Diner. Another place that's got really great food that's on your way out of town, and that's going to be right here. It's the Courtenay Country Market. Oh my gosh, if you're looking for a meal that you cannot finish at an affordable price, you would never know what's there, called the Courtenay Country Market. They have a little eatery. It is a market, like a miniature grocery store. Keep in mind that the prices are going to be higher than what you're going to get in town, but it's going to save you the time of driving and the fuel. And then go there and have the breakfast on the Saturday or Sunday morning. Huge breakfast, toast this thick, big slabs of bacon or pea meal bacon, delicious. And all of the eggs that they have are from local farms around the area. So delicious at the Courtenay Country Market. So this is the north part of the Comox Valley area. Now, coming into the south part of Courtenay, this is a really unique area. This is still part of the Comox Valley, but it has a really unique individual feel. There's two areas you want to be aware of. You'll be heading down the 19A, so you're going to go by a Winners, a big Walmart Plaza with a Dollarama into here. And it's going to take you 7 to 8 minutes, and you're going to land in Royston. And Royston was a community, it's by the sea, obviously, and there's a path that runs all the way along here. It's a gravel path, and it comes right into the Courtenay Air Park and matches up with a paved path. But this is great for mountain biking, strolling along and viewing the ocean. And then right here, the Royston shipwrecks. These are older ships that have come up and grounded on the shore, and they've rusted and rotted out, and they are really unique to look at. And they're even better if you've got a kayak and you can kayak right up to them. So that's one of the local favorite view spots. You're going to be looking out over onto the Comox Marina and also onto Goose Spit. Now, if you wanted to take a short jaunt off to Cumberland, you can actually take a shortcut. Right here, Royston Road goes over the Highway 19A and you land right into Cumberland. So that's from Royston. Now, Royston, for amenities wise, they have their town hall here right next door, the Royston Roasting House. If you're looking for a local roasted coffee, really thick, really nice oily with that crema top, I would highly recommend going there. Then you've got a gas and go gas station with a liquor mart. And you also have in here a really unique pub called the Roystown Pub. Their pizza is fantastic, and every Tuesday night they have live music at the Roystown Pub. You want to kick back and have a spa elegant experience? Right here, Kingfisher Spa Resort. I would recommend this date night. My wife, Bianca, and I, we love to go there. They have so many different options. And the landscaping there is beautiful. They have rivers running through with waterfalls and nice natural gas fire pits. So you can just walk in there, and they have nice Adirondack chairs. You can just sit down, get warm by the fire, and then have your view of the ocean and of Comox over here. And in the winter time, they still use the patio. They have these geodomes that you can actually book the dome. It's got a table in there with chairs and seating for up to 8 people. And they have a heater in there. So the snow can be falling down. You're warm and toasty in this dome while you're looking out onto the ocean, having your dinner or having your brunch. It is fantastic, a very unique experience. And if you continue another 8 minutes down here, you're going to come to Union Bay. And Union Bay was known that when they had coal mines in Cumberland, they would actually have the ships come into Union Bay, and they had a train track that would go all the way from Cumberland to Union Bay, and they would dump the coal, and then the ships would take off from there. There is a lot of history from the 1800s and early 1900s in Union Bay. Union Bay has this spectacular view of the Johnstone Strait, as well as Denman Island, and that's where you would pick your ferry up to go to Denman Island or Hornby Island, which we covered that in one of our tours of the Comox Valley, so make sure that you don't miss that. As I mentioned at the beginning, I said if you stuck around to the end, I'm going to show you where you can access waterfalls in the Comox Valley. And this is a place that you won't see advertised. There's no signage, so this is a local secret that only you will know, and you can plan this on your next trip to the Comox Valley. Now, you can go there any time of the year. It's great to walk down the trails and see it, and in the summertime, it's even better because you get to swim in it and enjoy it with the family. It is called Browns River Falls. And how you get to Browns River Falls is once you're in downtown in Courtenay, you'll be coming along Cliff Avenue, you go by the Courtenay Museum, and you're gonna go over what's called Condensory Bridge, which crosses over the Puntledge River, and you'll follow it around Condensory until you get to Piercy Road. Come down Piercy Road. Now, when you're here, there are, again, no signs. So what you'll want to look for is the hydro lines. We have hydro lines that run up and down the island with these big towers. When you see the hydro lines, you'll see parking on this side and a little parking space here. They're not paved, they're kind of a gravel turn off or pull off. That's going to be your indication. And once you get off, you'll have your parking here. There'll be a trail through there and it'll take you right over to Browns River Falls. Now I'll blow this up so you can get to see this. This is one of nature's beauties, is Browns River Falls. Here it is actually in the fall time, and there it is in the summertime. You're obviously going to get less flow, so be cautious. If you're going in the wintertime or in the springtime when there's a lot of flow down the river, it will increase the flow. The water is clear. You can see right to the bottom. The path getting down there, they have ropes that go down there, so if you have mobility issues, you'll want to be aware that you may only make it to a certain part of the path, but if you're adventurous like myself, they've got these ropes to kind of help guide you down. If you're an avid hiker or mountain climber, you probably won't need them, but they're there for access to make it easy. And again, it's lush and green, a lot of ferns on the ground. This is called Grandpa's Beard. It's like a natural moss that hangs down. Fun fact is that if you're ever stuck in the forest and you can't get out or you're lost and you need to make a fire, Grandpa's Beard is actually flammable, so you can use that. And there's one of the pools, these many pools that you can swim in here, where the water is cascaded down over the years and actually eroded the rock away, creating this pool of glacier-filled water. So just a spectacular place for you and your family to go to. So that is the Browns River Falls. Today, we've gone on a full tour of the Courtenay area, from east to west, north to south. We've gone from golf resorts to spas by the ocean to tubing down the Puntledge River. You got your insider's tip on Browns River Falls for your next tour to the Comox Valley. If you found this video informative, tap on the like button and be sure to share it with friends and family. Also, our contact information is down below. Set up a call with myself or one of my team members. No matter if you're 9 months or 9 weeks away, let's get those questions answered now. We'll see you on the next video or on your next trip to the Comox Valley and Courtenay area.